Mm. Yeah. Hmm. Hello, everyone.
Hello. Yeah. So my name is Himanshu and I'm your host and your friend and your teacher for today's lesson on subject verb agreement. Subject verb agreement is a very unique topic about the grammar, first of all, because lot of students, lot of people who are trying to learn English or try to understand English, they come to a halt for a certain reason that they don't know like whether to use is, am, are in certain place, depending upon the kind of statement it is. If the statement uh, requires is, what's the fundamental behind that? What's the rule behind that? Why we are using has, have, accordingly, and when they are called as helping verb, because sometimes they act as a main verb too. So keeping that thing in mind, I thought that I should actually make this next lesson on subject verb agreement, which is also um, one of the chapter in a hierarchy. So I thought that I should start with this today. I got some time for making this lesson. So without any further delay, we will go to the screen and we'll start learning the thing that actually we meant to. Let me just bring it forward. I think it should be here. It should be here. Yeah. So here we are. Yeah. So last time we have done something important that was the kinds of sentences, and I have updated one of the information, one of the thing about this particular lesson. Even on the YouTube, I added one PDF file of the same stuff so that you can actually learn things on your own pace or at your own pace, at your own convenience as well. So um, just keeping that thing in mind that you are going lesson by lesson, then you can actually enhance your level of learning English easily. Um, like I don't want to make any fuss over the previous topics right now because I think we should move on with the next lesson. So that is why let's start and begin the learning about subject and subject verb agreement. Um, Before starting it, I must tell you that sometimes I become double-minded about like whether to continue with the new thing or just to uh, fix the previous ones. So if there are any kind of suggestions about the lessons that you want to give it to me, that yeah, this way you can do better, or that's how we can learn about IELTS examination better. I'm just fixing the grammar first. I'll go one by one for each of the topics. I know that it'll take a long time. It'll take a lot of time. But I know the tips and tricks for actually getting good score in IELTS at the fast pace as well. So don't worry about that one. You can actually message me about that too, if you have my WhatsApp number, or you can email me at my email address, that is hstardy596 at the rate of gmail .com. You can send me your queries, or you can send me your questions about different topics related to the IELTS, so that I can actually bring forward some kind of lessons for you, or make some kind of presentations for you all, that can really help you out, because I believe something becomes stale or something becomes useless if you don't use it. So I just want to use whatever knowledge I have for helping you out in some sense or in lot of sense if people think so. Um, so you can let me know about the issues and the queries that you have about English, in grammar, like vocabulary. I'm gonna start some kind of club also. I have mentioned that in my previous video. In that one, you can just find it out in my description. I have written that in the description that I'm gonna start a club in which one you will all be my family. You can all be the part of my group, and then thereafter we can learn together, and I'll post something important for you in that particular group so as to improve your English. And you need not to pay anything for joining that particular club. But in case you want certain separate classes, then definitely it would cost you something. But to join the club and getting the benefit of my videos, my lessons, and subject matter that I'll be providing you over there in the club or in the group won't cost you anything. So you can learn, like for those people uh, who desire to study, who know that like we can do it on our own. For them also it will be beneficial because I'll provide you the material. You have to do it on your own. Rest is like if in case you require my assistance or my guidance or coaching in some sense, then I'll be there to help you out as well. Another thing that I'm actually making videos continuously is I don't want to lose my grip on English because I believe I would if I won't practice that. So just a second. Keep okay. So there are different ways by which you can actually improve your English. First of all, you need to focus on this grammatical aspect of your grammar, of your English. Sorry. The thing is, there are a lot of lessons people will make and people will actually buy. People will buy those ideas too. People will try to understand from those as well, depending upon the time limit that they have or the kind of amount of time they have for the preparation of some kind of examination. But here I'm trying to give help to all those people who really want to start from the scratch so that they can actually understand what exactly every post is all about. When it comes to making a building, you need to know about the pillars. You need to have a good base. Then you can actually start up with a better building, like a strong, firm building. You know, so base has to be strong. The building will stay. The base is weak. Your building will collapse. So without any further delay, let's start with the today's lesson. That is subject verb agreement. So give me a second. I'll use the annotator along with. If in case you have any kind of suggestion, you can send me that in my comment section. I'll be reading it through my mobile phone, uh, the iPhone. Let me see. So I'll be writing welcome over there, and you're all welcome to comment in case you get some time to come in. And I welcome all my learners, all my friends, all my known and unknown people around there in my country, in Canada, in any other part of the world. So you're all welcome to comment. You're all welcome to give me suggestions. You're all welcome to actually criticize me and help me out in actually making myself better and better and improve myself as far as like bringing forward the subject matter to you is concerned and the way you want your learning to be. Uh, let's start with the lesson now. So. The first thing first is the title of the chapter today is subject verb agreement. Okay, my habit of actually explaining it in detail is a cause of concern for many. But if in case you can relate to that one, um, because of the seriousness of something, because of the seriousness of the topic, that's up to you. If you don't, then I'll try to improve myself as far as the explanation to make it little brief or make it little compact for you. So, subject verb agreement, we should know that first of all, the term subject and verb, what exactly the subject is. Whenever we say, whenever we utter anything out of a mouth or something that comes out of a mouth, will have a subject, will have a certain topic that we will talk about. Something that we talk about is the subject, something that we have as the doer of action. In literal sense, in grammatical sense, or in English grammatical sense, the subject as a word is known as the doer of action. I'll write over there subject, the doer of action. Action, here we are not talking about any movie. We are not talking about any kind of action by like it doesn't mean to be like fighting. It doesn't mean to be anything. It means that anything or everything that has movement, that will be action. There would be something that will happen. So that action in English grammar is known as verb. So verb is action, and then thereafter there are more tributaries. There are more branches. Then we get to know about helping verb. We get to know about main verb. Just to make it easier for the learners, teachers divide them into different kinds of the verbs. Then. So that's what we're gonna do today. What we're gonna do is we're gonna know that what exactly this agreement is all about. In most of the English grammar books, this word is always written as concord. Okay, concord is the agreement. Concord is a kind of abide by policy between subject and verb. When subject is agreeing to the verb, means they satisfy each other. They satisfy the need of each other. They they send the same quantity for both of them, like that, they for each other actually. If the subject is singular, if the person who is the doer of action is one person, um, the verb is also to be singular, but both are different. Let me tell you, whenever we talk about subject is something which is a noun. So when it comes to a noun, noun can be singular, noun can be plural. But when it comes to verb, verb is a little bit opposite kind of affair, because most of the time when we add s or es to the subject, it becomes plural. But when we add s or es to the verb, it becomes singular. That's how you need to actually keep it in mind, that it is opposite. Little bit of opposition is there, but the relation between them, the agreement between them is similar. Like if there is singular subject, there would be singular verb. If there is plural subject, there would be plural verb. That's a universal rule that you need to understand. That's how sometimes when we speak something, most of the time when we use did, you know, uh, even in like professional sense or even at different workplaces, I've seen that the usage of did with, they say it with the second form. Sometimes they say it with the third form. So they say it with the past form or past participle form, which is wrong. So as far as the grammatical sense is concerned or grammatical rule is concerned, it should come with the flow. I know that, like it should come like with the flow from our mouth, like whatsoever comes we should understand. And even the people say that my message is conveyed and you understood that very well. So why you are bothering about like why there is singular verb or the plural verb is used or something? Because like for the sake of accuracy, we need to keep it in mind like I am not going to use a wrong verb. So that's why we are little serious about using first form of verb which is known as a present form of present form. We say we say first form, second form, third form, but their exact names are present form, then past form, then third form of verb is known as past participle. We should know about these little terms, you know, so that the small terms, so that we can um, learn it with accuracy. When it comes to singular subject, it means the doer of action is one person. Same way, the verb has to be singular. I told you with the first rule, the definition here it is subject verb agreement rules. In a sentence, verb must agree with the subject. That is the agreement rule. If the verb doesn't agree with the subject, that means you are not speaking English. So that is the first rule of grammar, or that is the first rule of English, that when you speak something, you should satisfy subject with the verb or verb with the subject, either way, vice versa. So if you are doing that, you are well and good in condition of speaking statements in a right manner or with an accuracy in your speech. But when it comes to using any kind of verb with any kind of subject, that doesn't make any sense either. Like you should know that thing. I have to use exact verb with exact subject, or I don't say that you need to be that stringent, that serious about it, but still you should know about these basic rules so that you may tell others that that's why it is. People ask for the logic, I'm providing you the logic today. People ask you the reason behind why we are doing it, I'm providing you that reason today. So keep it in mind why we are doing it. Subject agreement, subject verb agreement is most important when it comes to making the right use of English sentences. Because if you know this, you will do the least of the grammatical mistakes. When you are writing singular verb, singular subject, then you would do least amount of mistakes when it comes to the writing. And especially in your ELTS essay writing, most of the students they do mistake in this. Not most of, though I would say that probably a large quantity or large number of. Sometimes I use the wrong word also. I'm really sorry for that. You know, but that's what I'm saying. Like we need to be careful about it. Like when we are saying, when we are writing something, so we need to be careful about it. Like whether I'm using the right verb with the right subject or not. That's a basic rule that you need to keep in mind. Subject must agree with the verb. So in other words, we can say that the verb used in according to the person and the number. Like whatsoever person or whatsoever number of the persons are there in the sentence, we will use the subject, we will use the verb accordingly that. That means our action will be singular or plural is all dependent upon the subject that we are using, the doer of action we are using. Right at the moment, I am the speaker. If I will use as a pronoun I know that with I, there will always be the different verb. There can be am. But as far as the verb is concerned, I is to be an exceptional case. In this one, we will use exceptional means it will be way different from the rest of the mob. So we will not be using the same rule as I will be singular, but I is not considered to be singular. It is considered to be, you know, of higher value. So that is why we say I. So I, then we'll take the plural verb with that. We can say I come. I comes is wrong. Comes is singular verb. Comes is singular verb which comes with singular subject. That can be he or can be one person. But if there are more persons, like for example, if I'm writing my name, then if I would say that I will write come, that is wrong. Then there would be comes. But when we say I instead of Himanshu, if instead of writing my name, then I would say come. So there is a little bit of, you know, trickiness about it, or we can say that you should remember how the pronouns are used and how the nouns are used. So when it comes to the pronoun I, we use the plural verb with that. Sorry for that. So when it comes to singular subject, here you see he. He is a pronoun, is a third person pronoun. How we know that first person, second person, third person? The person who is speaking to you would be the first person, and the person can call himself with I. And the person who is speaking to the other person, and the person who is the first person will be talking to somebody, and the second person who would be listening to me would be you. So you can be called as a second person pronoun. But the person that we talk about, the concept that we talk about would be the third party software. It will be a third party software, or the third thing that we are talking, a third person pronoun. So in that scenario, we will use the third person pronoun in such cases. So when it comes to the subject verb agreement, you should remember that one. Like, you know about first person, second person, and third person. This terminology has to be clear to you. You should know about these terms like first person pronoun, second person pronoun, third person. I told you that what is first person? The person who is speaking at the moment is me. So I am the first person. You are the listener. You would be the second person. And the topic, if we are personifying the topic subject verb agreement, I would say he or she or something like. But if it is non-personified, then it will be like the pronoun would be it. That would be third person. So third person pronoun will be used for certain terms like which are non-living things. Something which is living being or which is personified as something, then definitely we have given the human characteristic to a certain topic, then we will say that he or she would be used. So sometimes that's how in Canada, in any other country where the people keep the pet, they say he or she. They don't use they don't use it. They don't consider them to be something that the way we consider, or I consider personally. I would say that I should not. But when it comes to uh, like learning during our childhood, we have learned like that. So when we are personifying, when we are saying that we have kept a name to that particular animal or something, then we say he or she because we have personified. When we say Jimmy, don't say that. So I'm sorry for taking any kind of name. I'm not taking any name. So any dog's name can be useful here. So if there would be any dog's name we are using, um, it's okay. So then thereafter, like that particular dog is personified, and so personification. Therefore, we will use he or she for that one, depending upon the gender. Okay, so that's how like singular, plural, like subjects are to be kept in mind. First person pronoun, second person, and third person pronoun, depending upon the way we are using it. Now, that's the first rule, first come first. That is like he comes, we'll use he comes. We can't use he come. And that's why they have used in the second example, they have used they come, not they comes. We cannot say they comes because comes as a verb. Come is the main verb, first form of verb. We are using s or yes with it, and we are making it singular. We will call it as a singular verb because we are using s or yes with the present form of verb. And the sentence that we are making with this one is a present indefinite sentence. Present indefinite kind of tense is used in this one, that the time period we get to know, and depending upon that one, we'll make the meaning of the statement. He comes to the school on time. Every day he comes to the school on time. If we say He did not come to the school on time, or sometimes the people say wrongly, he did not came to the school on time, which is wrong. So with the did, we have to use first form of verb, that is present form of verb. He did not come to the school on time. That's how the rule of subject verb agreement helps you out in understanding how the way we speak out, how the way we speak, how the way we write, how the way we actually make things clear. We should know about that. So subject verb agreement is a really, really interesting and really, really important topic. So remember that. They come, if the subject is plural, then the verb must also be plural. So what is plural? Plural is more than one. More than one. Okay. Like if the subject is singular, singular means single. So same way that goes on and on for it. I'm not going to repeat the same, but if I would do that, I'm sorry for that, but I would keep on, remembering you, making you remember that, or making you reminding you. Sorry, I'll be keeping on to remind you that that that's how you need to say singular and plural. So that's how, with few days of practice, you will be able to analyze this particular verb is singular, this particular verb is plural, this subject is singular, and this subject is plural. With the practice, once you have gone through all this for 15 days or 20 days, you will be able to remember that forever in your life, that this is singular, this is plural. But you have to go through this lesson. You have to actually stay tuned with me to understand about the topic of subject verb agreement. Let me tell you, in our childhood we are taught in a different way. The learning of the concepts in India is totally different from the way we are learning here. Here the concept is taught for, like, one concept or one topic is taught for million days, million number of days, or million years, I would say. But in India, we are taught with a certain psychology that the lesson has to be taught, and then thereafter there has to be rehearsal. You have to rehearse the thing. You have to practice that thing at home, and more you will practice, more you are going to gain momentum in learning. Now coming to the topic, there you see singular verb and plural verb. Why we are getting to know about singular and the plural verb here is so that you may be having an idea in mind. These are the basic singular and the plural verb. And as far as the verb here is concerned, is all about, you know helping verb. When we are talking about auxiliary verb, when we say auxiliary verb, or when we say helping verb, or if we say if we say the main verb, it would be, there won't be any kind of other main verb in that scenario. Like for example, if I'll write a statement: sky is blue. Sky is blue. When we say sky is blue, here we don't have any kind of other main verb or action verb. In the absence of the action verb, when there is no action verb in the sentence, then definitely you have to remember that one, this particular verb will be acting as a main verb in the sentence. That's very much clear. I hope so. Then, when it comes to singular verb, as far as singular helping verb, is will be used with the singular subject. Singular subject like he, she, and it. That's as far as the pronoun is concerned. If the number of the persons, or the name of the person is known, like if I say Himanshu, with that one is will come. Himanshu, like any of the singular one would be the one. Like if I say boy, then singular. If I say girl, then singular. If the girl's name is there, but one person is there, then we will use is. And it means, like, when we say that presence of on of being something, presence of, like if I say who is he is a teacher. Like, that's all about the existence. When we talk about existence of something, how something exists, or what is the presence of the something, whether the thing presence is existed in the past or the present, depends upon the verb here. Like if I say is, it is, present, presently, you know, like that. The existence of the thing is like that, existence of the person is like that. But if I say was, the existence is in the past. He was a teacher. He was a teacher, but the subject will remain the same. The subject has to be singular with the singular verb. We cannot say that boys is, the girls is, horses is, all wrong. These three of the examples would be wrong. If I say horses, horses are, then we will use this verb. We will use are for that. For the existence in the present, we'll use are. But for the existence in the past, let me just hide my video because it's not important. Yeah. For the existence in the uh, like present, then we will use are for the plural, like horses are, boys are, girls are, people are. Okay. But when we say mob lynching, you, if you have heard of the word mob lynching, so mob is altogether a combined, classified, what we say, collective noun. So mob are is wrong. If all are different, all the people are doing differently, then something else is there. The scenario is different. But when we say mob is a collective noun. So for that one, we will use is. So, depending upon the thing that we are talking about, whether there are more than two persons, more than one person, sorry, more than one person, we will use a plural verb. For the singular, we'll use singular verb. Like is, has, was, verbs first form, then s or es. For the singular, they all will be called as singular verb. Here, something that is missing is does. Here will come do. They can come as action one. That's why they are not written here. For example, if we say, yeah, here it's quite clear. It's given over here. Verbs first form do, then s or es. When we say added to that, then we say like it's singular verb. And another thing that I want to add to your knowledge is, I would say that if any of my students, past students, they are listening to that one, uh, there is a message. Let me say hi. Hi, you're from Winnipeg. Exactly. So when it comes to singular verb, we'll continue with that. We'll continue with the chat. We'll continue with your lesson along. So when we say as or es along with it, we are using in a certain position where we use as, and you will say that in any place we cannot say es, we cannot say as. So we have to define that one, where to use as or where to use es. Let me tell you where to use as and where to use es. It's clear that when it comes to using es, it should be like if the verb is ending with double s, if the verb is ending with sh, if the verb is ending with ch, if the verb is ending with o, and if the verb is ending with double o, then we will use es with that. Then we will use es with the verb. Uh, for example, for this one, like I'll give you two example out of that one, then you have to search out the words for yourself. Let me tell you, when we say pass, we have used double s at the last. We cannot say like for the third time we won't write s along with it, we will write es with that. That's the rule. That's the way we need to understand that one. If the verb is ending with the double S, then we will use es with that. Then if the verb, for example, I'll give you another example, that sh, like push. Okay. So when we say push, then we won't say s with that. We say we will write es with that. We will add es to that. That's a common topic that need to understand. Like when I'm giving you exactly the the kind of exceptional cases, then you need to know that thing, that where to use as and where to use es. That has to be clear. That has to be fundamentally known to you. So there you should know that s, double s, I would say double s, o, double o, and one more, x. I forgot to tell you that one more is there, that is x. If I say mm, like first of all, punch is with, you know, ch. Oh, like for example, if I say box, that box is not, a kind of box that we keep the things in. That's a box that we punch. That's like boxing. Okay. He boxes a punch on me. He boxes a punch on me, and then es will be there. There can be other verbs which can end with x, but you have to remember that, how we need to um, you know speak those, or we need to write those, or like where to use es and s. Just wanted to let you know that where to use s and where to use es in such scenarios. So when it is clear that s or es to be used, it is to be used with a singular verb, singular subject, sorry. When the doer of action is only the one person, if there is one person only, then we will use, you know singular verb. When we are talking one thing, one place, everything in a oneness will take the singular verb. Remember that. So other helping verbs I'm not writing over there, but still with the passage of lessons, that you will be able to know that. Yeah, there are some other examples too. Now plural verb. What are the different plural verbs that we have? That is are, have, were, and this one, first form of verb. In this scenario, you are very much clear. You should be known to that. That have can take I. Remember that I will always be on the side of the plural subject. It will be always on the side, like the rules of, but it is singular. Let me tell you. I don't want to actually mix it up. I don't want to mess it up. I just want to tell you that I is a singular subject, takes the place of the plural subject, and the rules of the plural subject are applied to the singular subject I. Remember that. I is a singular subject, but the rules of the plural subject is applied to that one. That means if plural subject says that the plural verb is to be applied with that, I will take the plural verb. I will take have, not has. I cannot say I has. I cannot say I has a pen. It is wrong. So what will come? I have a pen. That all depends upon the existence. The way we are using the helping verb, it all depends upon the existence of the thing in the present, past, and the future. You should know about the different kinds of the, tenses and times of life. When we're talking about the past time, the way we are using it, we will get to know a lot of it later on in the future. Don't worry. But right now, you can see that, like, we got these you know singular and the plural verb. But and the first rule is singular subject, singular verb, plural subject, plural verb. That's it. Now, top 26 subject verb agreement rule that everyone should know. That's what I'm going to write over there, or that's what I'm going to discuss about. You know, mm, to go subject verb agreement rules. First, you have to know the basic difference between the verb and the noun. You should know that. Yeah, that we have discussed already, but little bit of explanation again is given there. So noun and with es, when it ends with the plus s or es, is the plural, is equal to plural noun. How is it possible? Yeah. That's what I told you, that if we are adding s or es to the noun, then we are making it a plural noun. But when we are adding s or es to the verb, it becomes a singular verb. That's why I have cut over there. I have made some correction over there. It's a singular verb. That's how it is different. Like that's how it is to be remembered. Like when we are adding s or es to the verb, helping verb, or the verb which will be in the agreement to the noun or the subject, if it is having s or es added to that one, it will be called as a singular verb. It will be acting as a singular verb, and we know that singular verb has to have the singular subject. Plural verb will have to have the plural subject. That depends upon that. Now, the rule number one that says if two subjects are joined by and, you know, if the two subjects are joined by and, like two doers of action are joined by and, the plural verb will be used. Let me tell you, it depends. It depends. There are different scenarios. The rule number one says this. The rule number two will exactly gonna tell you that how how the rule will have a different stuff. Okay. Now you see that if the two subjects are joined by and, if it doesn't have the same idea, then it will be the a plural subject. It will be plural. Ram and Sham both cannot be same. Sham is a different person. Ram is a different person. So that's why both are different. Both are two in number. The subject is two in number. That is why we have used the plural verb with that. That is why R is used with Ram and Sham. So Ram and Sham are taking R just because our R is used with that. I'm not going to twist my tongue. Oh my God. So R is going to be used with Ram and Sham just because the subject is plural. The subject is plural. That is why R is used over there. Okay. Copy the link and send it to the people. Especially in the iPhones, I have seen that the things are little different. And I'm very simple person. Let me tell you, broadcast list. I need to go to that. Oh yeah. So live subject, copy, and I'll just paste it over there in my status. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So share the link of this live session with your friends and the people who really want to improve their English. And here we are on the example Ram and Sham, two persons are most handy that when they are used Ram and Sham both are the names of the same incarnation. Let me tell you, Ram and Sham are coming. It's not possible at the same time. How is it possible? Ram and Sham are coming. Okay, so both are different. That's why R is used here. But second rule says if two or more than two nouns are adjectives and are joined by and, another condition. If there are two nouns which are adjectives, okay. Mm-hmm. Nouns are adjectives. Oh my God. But only person or thing idea is discussed, the singular verb will be used. So that's how it is. This is the rule. That's what I was trying to tell you, that it is not about nouns are adjective or something. I'm telling you, the nouns can never be adjectives. And nouns can never be adjectives. So two nouns are joined. So remember that one. Two nouns are joined by and, like my friend, one, philosopher, and guide. There is no, differentiation between three of them, like that we like sorry, there is difference between three of them, you know. That's why we say change have to has, you know. We are talking about one person here. They are messing me up. I'm sorry for that. My friend, philosopher, and guide have come. So it is wrong. Why it is wrong? Because my friend is the same person who's a philosopher and the guide and my guide. We haven't said the guide. Guide is same person. Has come. My friend, philosopher, and guide has come because we are talking about one person only here. My friend, who is a philosopher, who is my guide, has come. So that's why has will come, not have will come here. Okay. Have plus past participle. It means that we are talking of the present perfect tense. So slow and steady win the race. So win is wrong here. We are talking about a single idea. We are talking about slow and steady altogether, as one process, you know. So there it'll be wins. It'll be a singular process. In that scenario, again, singular verb. So fish and chips is my favorite dish. Is my favorite dish. So fish and chips, not mine, let me tell you. Fish and chips is. So both of them together. So that's a kind of cuisine or something like when we say is, it's right. Okay. So that is why is my favorite dish. It's right. When we say fish and chips are, that's not a certain way to say that because it is one single cuisine or single way of representing something eatable, which is eatable. So fish and chips, that's how it comes together. So that's how we need to remember that one. There is no error in that one, so it's accurate. This statement is accurate, and that's why it is not reddish in color. But if two uncountable nouns are joined by and if two are different subjects are discussed, plural verbs will be used. For example, poverty and misery come together. So misery is different. Misery is totally different. Let me tell you. Uncountable nouns. Poverty, misery. Misery is, you know, being cheap or being you don't have anything to spend. So you are miser in that. Like a spendthrift is the opposite to that. So miser, spendthrift. So poverty and misery come together. So poverty is, you know, and misery both come together. So here it's the plural one. That's how it is. Uncountable one. So if the subject is joined by as well as, let me tell you one more thing which has to be added here is my friend philosopher, and if for example is written the guide and the guide. If the is used here, then definitely it has to be the same have. Why? Because it made it different. The guide is different in that scenario. Oh my god. Okay. And if something is making it different, then definitely we'll use the plural one. Plural one, not the singular one. Remember that. Now, just a second. Hmm, give me a second. Now, now this one, this particular third rule, remember that one. The third rule says, what does it say? The third rule says, if the subject is joined by as well as, if in case this combination of the phrase comes in the sentence, like as well as in any of Ram as well as Sham. Okay. With along with, together with, anything like that. The verb will agree with the first subject. Remember that. So it'll come like whatsoever would be the subject. Like for example, we'll see the examples later on. Just a second. Now, you see, Ram as well as his parents. When we say his parents, we are not using his parents as a designated one to, recognize which verb is to be used. We are taking Ram in consideration because it is the first subject in that scenario. The rule says this one: if there are two subjects and they are joined together with as well as, or certain phrases like as well as, the verb must agree with the first subject. So first subject here is Ram, which is written in the beginning. So Ram is singular, singular verb. If that could have been written here, like Ram's parents and Ram, then plural are coming. Okay. So it depends upon that. First subject. And those phrases are to be kept in mind. You can take the screenshot. I'll just pause. I hope so. You have taken that. Then the captain along with the sailors. So here again singular verb. Why? Why singular? The captain along with the sailors was drowned. Okay. Mhm. Share that on my page on Facebook. You can search my page on Facebook as well. Learning English language has been the best experience of my life. Mm, just health is good. It's all good. Now thereafter, you see, fourth rule says, what does it say? The fourth rule is very important. Let me tell you that if an article is placed just before the first subject, if an article here means it's a and the, okay. If an article is placed before the first subject, it means that the person or the thing, I have corrected that one, or the thing is the same. Okay. Okay. So the way I said that the is used with the second subject or something, then it means that the person or thing is the same for which the two nouns are used. Like a white. Okay. Okay. Like here you see, if an article is placed just before the first subject, it means that the person or thing is the same with for which the two nouns are used. So in that scenario, was or were would be used because it is singular one, because it is talking about the article is used before the first subject. So if the first subject is having that a, then it'll be like the same. A white and the black gown. It's one thing. That is why it is singular one. So that is why was is used with that. Okay. Then when it comes to the other example, let's see the other example. Churchill was a great orator and a great politician of his time. Okay. And a great politician of its time. So in that scenario, has not to be used in this scenario. So Churchill was a great orator and politician of his time. So one and the same person. We're talking about the one and the same person. So that's why was will be used. Okay. So Churchill was here. It was quite clear that somehow the example was a little ambiguous, and here it in the beginning it's quite clear. We are talking about the Churchill, Winston Churchill. So here the next one. But if an article is used before every subject, it refers to the different people and the different things. Here, hence the plural verb is to be used. Like if the article is used with one thing, not with the other one, then definitely it'll be singular one. But when it comes to the every of the noun, if it is used in the sentence, like the director and the producer, both are different now. We have made them different. In the earlier example also, like when I used the, I made them different. Why? To let you know that, like in that scenario, if we are using article with each of them, then both are different. The director and the producer. So now the director is not the producer. The director and producer, if I say the director and producer, it'll be singular, has come. But if it is the director, if I've used the director and the producer, both of them are different people. The director and the producer have come, not has come. Is, was, or something would be wrong, would be are coming. Or we say that do good work or something like that. But has to be the plural verb in that scenario when there is plural one. Let me tell you. Then thereafter, you see, if two subjects are joined together by neither nor, either or, that's how, let me tell you, you must be thinking that how many rules we need to keep in mind. Like that's how the accuracy will come. Once you will see like more number of examples of the same categories of the kind of rules, then you will be able to analyze that one, that that's how the rule was, that's how the things were, and that's how I need to keep it in mind. So that's how I need to understand that the logic of writing something like that. Okay. Now, if two subjects are joined by neither nor, either or, that actually for the choice or something, not only but also, nor, correlative one, kind of correlative one. So if the verb will agree, then the verb will agree with the nearest subject. Nearest subject, that means if the verb is ending with is, it'll be depending on the nearest word possible to the verb. So here has is the verb and nearest word is sham. Sham is singular, that is why has is there. Okay. But though there is already ram on the other side is also singular, so we can't say that it is plural one. So neither nor, either or in any of these sentences, whichsoever is the nearest possible word to the verb, then the verb will be written accordingly. Singular and plural, that same universal rule will apply in every sense. Let me tell you, has Ram and Sham. So in this scenario, again, the nearest possible is different now here. Here Ram has. So in question kind of sentence, or what we say interrogative kind of sentence, like we say has Ram or Sham come. So in that scenario, like nearest possible will be taken. Now then thereafter we have another example of like neither of. Neither of means not either of the two things or the people. Okay. So when we say neither of the judges of the division bench knew about the facts of these cases, it's correct. Neither of the judges. In this scenario, we are not talking about the singular, the plural. We are just talking about the tense. Tense has to be right here. Tense is right. But if we say neither of his four sons looked after him, incorrect. Okay. Which is wrong. Why? Neither of means it is not, it is either of the, not either of the two things, or the two people. We are not talking about more than two. When we talk about more than two, would be a different word. It cannot be neither. Neither means we will be using this case or that case. That's it. Two choices. Two choices, not more than that. That's what it is. That's why the sentence can be wrong, can be right. So remember that. None of means not one of the groups of the things or the people. None of can have, you know, can be used in either scenario. Can be used for the, like, two persons, can be used for four persons, or can be for anyone, any number, but should not be singular. Should not be singular. Okay, remember that. So then either of the five members, either of the five members, again incorrect. Why? Either or neither nor, we know that only two persons. One of the five members, here we say one out of those five members, okay, is at fault. It is correct. Why? We are talking about one person. Here we are talking about one person. One of the five members, depends upon the kind of sentence that we have, or the kind of statement that we have written in the in a certain discourse, whether we are writing essay or what we are writing, whatever we are writing, it depends all upon that. So either of the twins, we are talking about either of the twins will be made the trustee, will be made the trustee. So there are like two persons or either of the twins, like you're talking about two. So there we use that one. Okay, that's a correct one. then not is used with both. For this purpose, neither of is used. Both of them did not take the exam. Instead of both of them, we don't use both, we will use neither of them. Instead of saying both of them did not take the exam. Neither of them took the exam. Neither of them took the exam. It'll be in the present form, but not in the negative form. But neither is giving it already a negative formation. That's how it is. Now, for now, what we will do is we are going to continue with the seventh rule, but after that one, we will have our next lesson next day because we will put it on a break because break means today's lesson will be ended after the seventh rule. Let me tell you, then different other things I need to go through. So you need to keep these seven rules in the mind so that you may rehearse these seven rules first, and once you are rehearsed with that one, I'll add up an activity for all of you to do, and you can actually, have that in my description also, description of the this particular live session. Then thereafter you can do it on your own at your own pace or at your own convenience. Yeah. Certain nouns are plural in form but singular in meaning. Hence, take the singular verb. So measles is a kind of disease. So, singular verb. Mumps, rickets, shingles, all of these are, you know, they'll take. Billiards is a game. Darts is a game. Dots is a something, a name of the games. So, countries, United States, the West Indies, Arabian Nights, they look plural, but they are singular. Arabian Nights is the name of the book. Three Musketeers, name of the book. Name of the subject, physics, ends with S. Economics ends with S. Civics ends with S. Statistics, politics, linguistics, which I have done. So all of them ends with S, but they will take singular verb because they are singular. Mathematics is an interesting subject. Politics is not my cup of tea. My cup of tea is music. We can't say musics. Okay. If statis- statics means data, mathematics means calculation. Okay. So they are trying to clarify this thing that how we are calling them singular. Politics means political thought. So if it is like that, the statics are is a data, and the mathematics means calculation. The politics means political thought. Plural verb will be used. Like statics have revealed. So in that scenario, it'll be like if that is giving the idea of a political thought. Politics will also be plural in that scenario. Politics, you know, in that scenario, we are not considering that to be a singular one, plural one. When it is having a different thought, people will have different thoughts, and people politics, like one party will have a different thought, another will have a different thought. So that's how the things will be now. So the up to this one, statics have revealed multiple scams in the organizations of the Commonwealth Games. So we will do the eighth rule, ninth rule, and tenth rule, and all other rules tomorrow. Okay, and we got only and only 26 rules, not more than that. Let me tell you, 26 rules, very important. Let me tell you, if you know all about these rules, you will do less of the mistakes in your examination, in your writing of a lot of stuff. Okay, so let me stop share. Now, coming back to the screen, let me tell you that one thing. I have started a new thing, that is my club. You can join my club. You can just send me the message on my WhatsApp number, that is +91 70876 75447. Okay. Or I'll do one thing. I'll do one thing. I'll share the screen with you. Okay. I'll just write a text in this one so that you may remember that on the chat. Mm-hmm. Annotate. There has to be something like text. Now here I'll write my number plus 917087675447 and my email address if you want to actually join with that, or you want to, you know, oh, sorry, study 6. uh, You can send me your queries on this one. And that is my YouTube channel is already known to you. This is the one that we are having. And you can search on Instagram, uh, never give up, give up. You can search this one underscore honey. Yeah. And then thereafter, one more page on Facebook is learning English is the best experience of my life. Learning English is the best experience of my life. Okay. So learning English is the best experience of my life. You can search that one page and you will see a picture over there of mine, um, of my younger days. And you will be seeing that one, that there would be a lot of material in that one too. And I'm posting my videos there too, that my people over there, whomsoever are with me over there, I think around 200 only, not more than that yet. So all of them, they will see the subject matter, and if you will add to that one, then definitely you will be the part of my family too. So that's how it is. And if you need any kind of assistance and the guidance and the coaching regarding your ELS preparation for the general module, and now we know that the different scenario has come up forward for the people like who are pursuing their education in abroad. They have to go through the LDS preparation. There to help you out. So just you have to join my club and learn English every now and then. That's it. That's it. Nothing else. So for now, I have to say bye bye. God bless you all. Take care and